Hello everyone, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Daily truck out of premium motor spirit has been increased, in fact more than doubled by the NNPC in view of recent build-up of panic queues partly occasioned by the industrial action embarked upon by the Petroleum Tanker Drivers Section of Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers NUPENG. It took the intervention of GMD Mele Kyari to get this resolved. He's promised to rally relevant stakeholders with a view to evolving a lasting solution to the issues. That's very reassuring. Commendation, commitment to energy security, transparency has come yet again to the National Oil Company from a section of stakeholdership whose business is energy security. Plus, in the manner that security has to do with safety, an NNPC subsidiary has bagged a fire safety certification, even as the corporation espouses the triple barrel merit of rail haulage of AKK project gas pipes. That's the outlook. We're glad you could join us. My name is Akin Agbejile. This is Oil and Gas Forum.
No panic to buy fuel for black market. NNPC go bring fuel for all motorists.
NNPC say them get fuel jabrata for ground. So therefore, no buy black market, no do panic buying. Enough fuel day we go round.
NNPC, we touch your lives in many positive ways.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, during the week increased the daily supply of premium motor spirit petrol across the country from 550 trucks to 1,661 trucks to combat the buildup of fuel queues in some part of the country. Managing Director of the Petroleum Product Marketing Company, PPMC, Mr. Musa Lawan, said that there are about 2 billion liters of PMS in strategic depots across the country to keep the nation well supplied for 2 months if no drop of fuel was imported in that period.
We have deployed some strategies around making sure that we have massive loadout. For example, today we usually do around 550 trucks, but we have done 1,661 just to make sure that there is massive loadout. We have also inaugurated a monitoring committee to make sure that the trucks that load from the depots get to their destination appropriately.
It should be recalled that the GMD's intervention led to the suspension of the strike by the PTD for 1 week. Speaking in similar vein at the State House after a meeting with the President, Muhammadu Buhari, the Group Managing Director of NNPC, Malam Mele Kyari, assured that with the resumption of loading, normalcy will return to the fuel stations across the country. He said the ex-depot price of petrol will remain the same for the month of May, urging marketers not to engage in arbitrary price increase.
There was an industrial action by petroleum tanker drivers against their employers, the National Association of Road Transport Owners, around their compensation package. And those issues were not resolved until we intervened to ensure that there's an amicable settlement between the parties so that they will have peace, and then normal loading operations will commence from the depots. As I speak to you this moment now, loading has commenced in all depots in the country. Dispatches of trucks are ongoing in all depots in the country, and they have called off the strike for a period of 1 week so that enable us to intervene and find resolutions.
The Petroleum Tanker Drivers Section of the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers NUPENG has suspended its industrial action following the intervention of the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Malam Mele Kyari. Rising from a meeting brokered by the GMD between the National Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, and the Petroleum Tanker Drivers PTD at the NNPC Towers, Abuja, Malam Kyari said the corporation was committed to resolving the issues between both bodies in the interest of Nigerians. It promised to rally all relevant stakeholders, including government agencies, within 7 days to take a critical look at the issues with a view to providing lasting solutions to the problem.
We have given commitment to both NATO and PTD that we will resolve the underlying issues within a week and come back to the table so that we'll have a total closure around the dispute, both in terms of government's responsibility and then the responsibility of NATO or the owners of the trucks to the petroleum tanker drivers.
He assured Nigerians that there will be no increase in the ex-depot price of premium motor spirit PMS in the month of May 2021 and urged motorists not to engage in panic buying as there was enough in stock to keep the nation well supplied. The national chairman of the PTD, Comrade Salmonu Akani Oladiti, who announced suspension of the strike, said the decision was based on the intervention of the group managing director of the NNPC.
Due to the intervention of our Group Managing Director of NNPC, our action is hereby suspended until another 7 days. The condition of service of tanker drivers and their other emolument will be discussed, and they promise that everything will be okay.
In the same vein, the president of NATO, Mr. Yusuf Lawan Othman, and the chairman, Adova PLC, president of the Prudent Group, Mr. Abdulwasiu Showami, who spoke on behalf of the other marketers, commended the NNPC helmsman for his prompt initiative to wade into the matter.
We are very grateful for the intervention of the Group Managing Director as well as the other marketers here present. And we assure the chairman of the PTD as well as Nupeng that based on the commitment we have received from the Group Managing Director, we are going to ensure within the next 7 days that we are given that things will normalize and all necessary adjustments to their allowances will be discussed.
The GMD is committed to resolving all these issues. We also want to use this opportunity to commit full support to NNPC and the government's initiatives and the government's drive in ensuring sustainable petroleum product supply.
A group of petroleum tanker owners in Nigeria, under the auspices of the Association of Distributors and Transporters of Petroleum Products, ADITOP, has commended the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) for its unrelenting efforts to bring sanity into the downstream sector of the oil industry. Speaking during a visit to the NNPC Towers Abuja, the national president of ADITOP, Alhaji Lawal Mohammed, expressed delight at the achievements of the corporation under the leadership of Malam Mele Kyari, especially in the area of stakeholder engagement.
We are visiting the GMD and his management team to foster stronger relationship and seek collaboration and understanding of the current trend in the industry.
While welcoming the ADITOP leadership to the NNPC Towers, Malam Kyari pledged to work with the petroleum product distributors to sustain the prevailing sanity in the downstream sector.
I am assuring you that we'll collaborate, we'll make progress together, and I will keep you in the picture of what we are doing, and we'll also continue to count on your very, very good faith in making sure Nigerians benefit from the abundant resources that we have in the country.
The Gas Development and Commercialization Program of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) received a boost with the execution of the Oil Mining Lease OML 143 Gas Development Agreement (GDA) by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and its partner, Sterling Oil Exploration and Production Company, SIPCO. The project will boost the nation's gas production by 1.2 trillion cubic feet. Speaking at the GDA signing ceremony, which held at the NNPC Towers, Abuja, the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Malam Mele Kyari, said the gas commercialization strategy of the corporation was in sync with the federal government's National Gas Expansion Program, NGEP.
We know this will bring money to all of us. It is value for SIPCO, it's value for NNPC, and it's value for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we're really, really happy for this event, and we thank you for all the efforts and all the great feats that this company has done on our behalf.
On his part, the Group Managing Director of SIPCO, Mr. Tony Chukwueke, said the OML 143 GDA is a major milestone for the country because it was the first agreement in Nigeria that fully separates gas development from oil production, noting that the arrangement will enable holistic development of the gas potential in the block.
This is the first time that I have seen an agreement that fully separates oil from gas, that there is no crop subsidy from oil to gas. This shows that you can actually develop gas without reliance on oil. It's a milestone, major milestone for the country.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, is a leading beacon of light in transparency and accountability. For the record, the NNPC remains the only national oil company across the globe that publishes its monthly financial and operations report, and this feat has been on since 2015. Of course, you can beat that. What's more, the NNPC has published its 2018 and 2019 audited financial statements, making the corporation more transparent and more accountable to Nigerians who are the core owners of the NNPC. NNPC is now an open book and remains committed to transparency, accountability, and performance excellence.
NNPC, we touch your lives in many positive ways.
The National Defense College, NDC, has lauded the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, for its efforts at sustaining energy security for the nation. The commandant of NDC, Rear Admiral Oladele Daji, who gave the commendation during a courtesy visit to the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Malam Kyari, at the NNPC Towers, also hailed the corporation's focus on transparency in its business operations. He said the corporation's deep commitment to transparency and accountability has brought value to the nation and proved that with the right attitude and focus, government enterprise can thrive.
Thank the GMD, NNPC, and your management team for receiving us and for all the efforts that you have been making to ensure energy security for our country and thereby ensure that lives and livelihood are improved.
In his response, Malam Kyari sued for deeper collaboration between NNPC and the NDC, stressing that such collaboration could engender efficient business operations in the oil and gas industry. He urged the NDC to consider introducing a course in energy security, as it was a strategic area critical to the maintenance of the nation's oil and gas reserves.
I believe that NNPC family will need the help of the National Defense College because strategic training is also part of our mandate. We have leaders who do require to have some strategic learning. I'm happy that you offer us to take advantage of this. If not the 11-month program, very certainly we can have some structured learning for NNPC personnel. And of course, in a wider sense, even the oil and gas industry generally, we can articulate this so that we can see how leaders in the oil and gas industry have a sense of relating this to global security and also national security.
The NNPC Trading, a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has been certified as fully compliant with the National Fire Safety Code. The approval was given by the Federal Fire Service, FFS, at an event where the Comptroller General of FFS, Mr. Liman Ibrahim, issued the NNPC with the Fire Safety Certificate. Speaking at the event, the Comptroller General of FFS, who was represented by the Chief Superintendent Oluseyi Oduye, commended the management of NNPC Trading for taking the necessary measures towards ensuring that its office complex is a safe work environment. In his remarks, the Managing Director of the NNPC Trading, Mr. Lawan Sade, said the NNPC Group has a culture of safety which places high premium on the safety of employees, facilities, and equipment of the organization. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has disclosed that its decision to engage the services of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, in transporting the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano AKK gas pipes was hinged on the fact that it is faster, safer, and cheaper. Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Malam Kyari, made this submission recently at a ceremony to signal the commencement of the freighting of the pipes from Warri to Itakwe for onward delivery to Ajaokuta, Kaduna, and Kano. Represented by the Managing Director of the Nigerian Gas Company Limited, NGC, a subsidiary of the NNPC, Engineer Sheyi Omotowa, The GMD noted that the partnership with NRC in transporting the AKK pipes would go a long way in enabling the completion of the project.
With the commissioning of the rail line, it gives us the opportunity to leverage on this very important infrastructure, which has consideration of safety of people and assets. And the rail option indeed has been identified as a cheaper, safer, and fastest means to deliver our line pipes from the ports in Warri to project sites in Abuja and Kaduna.
He commended the federal government for the Warri-Itakpe standard railway gauge line, saying it would further bolster the ongoing activities along the AKK gas project, which when completed would create several job opportunities for Nigerians. On his part, the managing director of NRC, Engineer Fidel Ohiria, assured of the readiness of NRC to continue to partner with the NNPC in the transportation of the AKK gas pipes for the economic good of Nigeria.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I am Faith Ayuba. Today, we will be speaking on the use of phones while driving. When you drive, engaging in any activity that takes your attention away from the road can be dangerous to you and others around you. Let's zoom in on views of the dangers that making calls, texting, and fiddling with your mobile phone pose to life. Please watch.
Road safety has to do with concentration. And of course, when you're driving on any Nigerian route at all, 100% concentration is what is expected from you. Issue of use of phone. The phone is very good, yes. But when you are behind the wheels, we don't expect you to use it. It's not an offense to use a Google map, but it is an offense if you are behind the wheels and you now pick that phone to see the direction of movement. You have used that phone, it's an offense. But when you set your Google map before you take off, keep it as a voice message. As you approach any junction, to tell you branch right or go straight or branch left.
Turn left onto Nuakshot Street.
The one thing that will also shock you, that people believe it is not an offense, is hands-free. Either Bluetooth or using an earpiece. For God's sake, there are some vehicles that are designed, you connect it by Bluetooth, and some of them, you calibrate it in such a way that when the call comes, give it some seconds, it picks on its own. You don't necessarily need to pick. Now, when you look at the whole thing, the bottom line there is you are being distracted. And distraction, that second will spell doom for either you or another person.
Making calls while driving can lead to many things. It can lead to accident. That accident can result to death. It can result to multiple injuries. It can lead to a damage of your car. So making calls while driving is very, very bad. Every situation we find ourselves, if there is any need you want to make a call, please move your car out from the road where you have your safety, make the call and move ahead.
I don't pick calls while driving. I don't ping while driving because I know the danger of it, because I've experienced it. I've watched it happen. A woman trying to pick call, and that was how she fell from the bridge.
It's quite dangerous. It's both unsafe, both for the other road users, not only for the driver, because when you are driving and you're using your phone, you can get a strange message or an uncomfortable message which can make you lose concentration. And immediately you lose concentration, it's either you can step on the brake and someone behind you will hit you, or maybe you lose control and you hit somebody else.
So a lot of dangers have been accompanying while driving and using phone at the same time, because your attention will be distracted. Even when you are using the earphone, the speaker in the vehicle, all these accumulated to fatal accidents. I will employ those that are driving, that we should stop receiving calls when driving. The best thing for us to do is to pull out of the road.
No matter what, you can't be focused on two things simultaneously. No matter how hard you try, your attention span is going to be focused on one higher than the other. So when you're on a call with your earphones, definitely your attention is divided. Someone could be driving wrongly, it might not even be your fault, but it's something that you would have avoided. But because your attention is divided, anything could happen on the road.
Driving requires your absolute concentration. Therefore, endeavor to observe all traffic regulations, including avoiding the use of phones while driving. That is the much we can accommodate. Stay tuned.
Hello, glad to have you join us on this educative segment of the program. My name is Abigail Ojogo. Did you know that API gravity is an arbitrary measure established by the American Petroleum Institute to specify the weight of crude oil per unit volume? Did you know that associated gas refers to the gas produced in conjunction with the normal or intended production of crude oil? Did you also know that natural gas containing relatively large amounts of sulfide or sulfide compounds, usually hydrogen sulfide, is known as sour gas? Did you know that gathering system is a term used for the pumping service that brings the flows of a number of producing wells together for subsequent pumping into a pipeline? Now you know. Please stay tuned for Global Crude Oil Outlook.
Hello and welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil prices fell after being weighed down by concerns that surging COVID-19 cases in India will drive down fuel demand in the world's third biggest oil importer. Brent crude futures for June declined 29 cents or 0.4% to $66.28 per barrel after dropping 48 cents. The United States West Texas Intermediate WTI crude futures for June fell 34 cents or 0.5% to $62.33 per barrel. The May contract was down to 1.5% at $62.44. Meanwhile, the Market Intelligence Department of NNPC's London office reported that the global energy demand is set to rebound by 4.6% this year, led by developing economies after falling by 4% last year. According to the International Energy Agency IEA, renewables will see the biggest gains, having already performed strongly during the pandemic. But demand for fossil fuels will also grow and drive an alarming increase in energy-related carbon dioxide emissions, according to the IEA's Global Energy Review for 2021. Demand for power from renewables is set to rise by over 8% in 2021, accounting for more than half of the increase in overall electricity supply worldwide. Demand for fossil fuels will also pick up significantly in 2021, with both coal and gas set to rise above their 2019 levels. Oil demand is also undergoing a strong recovery, but is expected to stay below its 2019 peak as the aviation sector remains under pressure. And that's it on this segment of the program. I am Owigo Okolo.
That's the package. Thanks for being part of it today. It's a brand new week. Make it positive and make it profitable. Keep the date next week.